Polling for the sixth phase of the Lok Sabha elections is underway with 58 constituencies across 6 states and 2 union territories now voting. The voter turnout has been recorded at 49.2% as of 3 p.m. today. As per the Election Commission, a total of 889 candidates are contesting in this phase, including some key contenders such as Manohar Lal Khattar, Bansuri Swaraj, Manoj Tiwari, Menka Gandhi, Naveen Jindal, Kanhaiya Kumar, Raj Babbar and Dharmendra Yadav, of course. We are now left with the last phase of the Lok Sabha polls on the 1st of June, following which the results will be declared on the 4th of June. With 90% of the Lok Sabha polls done, we ask experts and veteran analysts to share their prediction on how the parties have fared so far. In today's telecast, our panelists will present their state-by-state math and their seat breakdown as well. Joining us on the show at this point in time is Mr. Sumit Peer, who is a senior political commentator. Dr. Syed Abbas also joins us on the show. He's also a senior political analyst who joins us on the show. Sumit, I'll begin with you. We heard the Home Minister also who was speaking just a while back. He went on to reiterate, and he also exuded confidence, Sumit Peer, that so far in the 5 phases that have been concluded so far, the BJP has already crossed 300 seats. How do you look at this kind of a confidence exuded by the Home Minister, and plus also look at how Delhi voted today and the challenges that the Bharatiya Janata Party could be facing in Delhi, because a number of their key faces are not there. Gautam Gambhir is not there, Meenakshi Lekhi has not been there, Mr. Viduri is not there. So all of these faces are missing, and of course, voters usually, especially in a constituency like Delhi, Sumit, are more used to familiarity of the candidates than the party alone. What is your reckoning of how this phase is going to turn out, and where has the BJP fared well in the last 5 phases?
Vinny, thank you for having me on your show. In fact, if you look at the election so far, I would concur with what Mr. Amit Shah has been saying, because he's the man who understands this game best of best than anybody of all of us. He is the one who has proven his mettle on the ground. He's not a person who has never fought an election or never won an election or never got a national election moved. So when he says something, it obviously has a lot of meaning. If you look at the phase of today, for example, there are 50 seats here. If you compare it with 2019, out of these 50 seats, Congress could not even get 1 seat out of them. BJP got 40. So I think BJP will be doing better than what they did in last phase. And it is a complete BJP phase if you have 80-90% seats coming to you, which looks to be, if we go by the historical data. And another thing, when you talked about Delhi, Vinny, Delhi, I have been stretching my neck out and saying all the 7 are going to BJP. On your show, I've said numerous times, all the 7 are going to BJP, including Manoj Tiwari's seat. The challenge here is that, the Congress has not given the proper candidates. I would say that the choice of Kanhaiya Kumar was not a very good choice, which they should have done. They should have done for something else. And suddenly, Congress is not supporting AAP. AAP has been supporting Congress candidates. Congress is not supporting AAP candidates. Rahul Gandhi on record is saying कि भाई आदिवासी chief minister को नहीं छोड़ा, केजरीवाल को छोड़ा. That talks about a rift within them. And if I go to the neighboring state of Punjab, which is 15 kilometers from where the elections are happening, or at places maybe 1 kilometer away, they are fighting each other. So the alternate of the India alliance not to present a formidable face is what is going to hurt them. While in BJP, it is not a fiefdom, Vineet. Everybody gets ticket on the basis of merit. And every 5 years or after 2 terms, usually people are changed. This is the term. Modi ji believes in every election, there should be 25 to 30% new faces, and that is what has happened. Now, if you want to look at how viable this model is, look at Gujarat. Before election, the complete, I would say, whole revamp was done. Everybody was literally changed. And what was the election results? You set up a record after CPM of ruling the state for highest number of years. You've beaten, say, what the communists had recorded in Bengal. You've beaten that record now. Now, if you look at, Madhya Pradesh, again, same thing was done after the elections. So in BJP, coming up with new faces, with younger faces is a name of the game. Manoj Tiwari retains his seats because he has a sizable control over that area. And overall, I would say Haryana, I would say out of 10, you will get 9 seats. You might even get 10. 1 odd seat I'm giving because there are some technical issues there. You might get on. If you go to Bihar, 1 or 2 seats Alliance might lose, not the BJP. And in Maharashtra, 1 or 2 seats Alliance might have lost, not the BJP. So this is how it looks. If you look at the overall tally, Vineet, I would say my number is around 330, 335 again for BJP. And for NDA, it is around 370 to 380.
That's all right. That's an upward trajectory that, in fact, you're hinting towards, if you look at 2014, Dr. Abbas, the BJP got 282 seats. With the allies, it summed up to 336. In 2019, the BJP alone was able to get 303 seats. And with the allies, they were able to, in fact, get 353 seats. The Congress party with its allies had 91 seats in total in 2019. In 2014, Dr. Abbas, this tally was a dismal 54. It's going to be very, very difficult to predict what's likely to happen, but there seems to be some gain that are hinted towards the India alliance as well, but definitely none in Delhi, Dr. Abbas.
Well, Vineet sir, along with you, I have great respect for my dear friend Sumit. I think, it's always a pleasure to debate and converse with people with intellect. Of course, we might have our disagreements, but it's in the best of democracy. We can equally present our points, articulate them accordingly. Sumit ji made some very fine points with respect to Haryana, Bihar, and so on and so forth. In the opening statement, he mentioned about Honorable Home Minister Shri Amit Shah ji's predictions. And undoubtedly, he's been a political juggernaut, Chanakya. But let me tell you, he's also got many elections wrong. For example, West Bengal, he said that we are forming the government. They could not even get their figure, with respect to the Legislative Assembly, even close to 100. Not just that, he got Telangana wrong, he got Karnataka wrong. What previously held. Now coming to the points. I was on Rishabh Gulati Saab show during the morning, sir, and we saw Qatar, a queue of voters in Bihar, where out of about 10 people who were asked who they were voting for, 3 of them said directly Modi, and there were 7 of them, the word was Badlav, 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 and Badlav. That was quite interesting to see. Where does this come from? From many of the analysts and political research scientists that I heard, they have said there is a silent voter which is coming out in the fray. Many a times we bring in the issues of Vikas, Ram Mandir, or so on and so forth. But the fact is, if you ask any fair, neutral person, they will say it is inflation, the price rise, and of course, jobs. Jobs is going to be a big issue. Why I tell you? In accordance with the International Labour Organization report, if you see the report, 83% of Indian youth are unemployed. That will go a big way. Undoubtedly, Modi's government has done a great job when it comes to Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, crores of homes built, also Ujjwala scheme, also what they brought about in respect to providing the ration. Of course, they've continued from the UPA. These are all great schemes. I believe as a political analyst, I need to present out the good, the bad, the worst of all governments equally. Now let's go state by state specific. Let us look at Delhi. Delhi, apart from Manoj Tiwari, who undoubtedly is greatly popular in the Purvanchal belt, he won 2 times Member of Parliament. And mind you, he could be from the BJP, but one of the most interesting politicians I have seen today. This time, there is going to be a fight between him and Kanhaiya, no doubt about it. But let me tell you, the real question is, why didn't the Modi government repeat their 6 others? Whereas Gautam Gambhir won by 3 to 4 lakh votes. Meenakshi Lekhi won by over 1.5 lakh votes. And Hans and many others, none of them have repeated. That reminds me of my dear friend from my city and my constituency, Bengaluru South, Tejasvi Surya, who said on all 543 seats, Modi ji, mind you, is a de facto candidate there. This shows 2 points of the Bharatiya Janata Party. One, that undoubtedly Modi ji is a great strength. He's a vote getter. He's somebody who creates the wave, which is a great point. 2, Modi ji is also their weakness. How? Over-dependence on one batsman. This reminds me of a cricket analogy. When back in the days, when I was a young school kid, Indian team was completely dependent on which player? Sachin, Ramesh, Tendulkar. Undoubtedly, Modi ji is today's age Sachin Tendulkar. When Sachin used to get out, we used to see all of them getting out. This over-dependence on Modi ji is undoubtedly going to take a toll on them. Now, quick other points. Let's speak of, I saw this very interesting interview of P.K.
Dr. Abbas, Sachin never made a good captain.
Oh yes, Sachin didn't, but Modi ji did make a good captain.
Modi does make a good captain.
But absolutely, sir, stand corrected. You're right on that front. But then our team, our beautiful Team India, Men in Blue, depend so much on Sachin Tendulkar. अरे सचिन जब आउट हो जाते थे, हम टीवी को स्विच ऑफ कर देते. मैं, मेरा भाई मानसवी और सुमित जी too, and I'm sure you too, Vineet साहब. Now coming straight to the point.
opposition भी तो strong था. Sachin was
Yes,
facing a
absolutely.
tough opposition, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely, sir. Vineet, I concede to you on that point. When India-Pakistan plays or India-Australia plays, there's a lot of fun. But India plays Zimbabwe or Kenya, not much fun. It's always good to win when there is a strong
So
opposition.
what is Congress, Zimbabwe or Kenya?
अभी तो आपने clean bold कर दिया.
You made
बस
that
यही कहूंगा,
analogy,
विनीत
Dr.
साहब.
Abbas. You made that analogy. I'm just looking for clarification from you.
Absolutely. The Congress of today, I would say, is RCB. But the RCB, which needs to win the IPL, sadly not going to happen this year. But nevertheless, let's hope. उम्मीद पे दुनिया
But
कायम
RCB
है,
at least
और हम
qualified for
उम्मीद
the
करते हैं.
playoffs. I think you should compare them to Mumbai.
Nevertheless. Now coming to this part, Vineet Saab, I would say इब्तिदाई सियासत है रोता है क्या, आगे देख होता है क्या. I've been doing some very sound research with respect to what the political scientists are saying. They're polarized now. One we have Yogendra Yadav, one we have Prashant Kishore. One says 300 and above, one is saying 250 or 240 and below. Let me tell you, neither of them are right. Why? Because let the seventh phase get over. You know, Muhammad Ali once said, the legendary boxing champion, it ain't over till it's over, till the last ball is bowled, till the last vote is casted there. We cannot give a number. And let me tell you, many a times, even exit polls have faced the mud. When on the day of counting, on the day of results, I can tell you that I've been a MLA candidate here from the constituency of Bitimli out in Karnataka, and I tell you, unless and until you experience elections on ground, your analysis could always be heard.
Absolutely.
It's nevertheless very
Absolutely.
interesting that many of them present.
Yeah, Dr. Abbas, Manasvi also joins us on the program. Manasvi,
please.
looking at Delhi, you know, if you look at the
Manasvi is Virat
results,
Kohli.
that he is. If you look at Delhi in 2019, 56.56% of the percentage of votes went to the Bharatiya Janata Party. 22.51% went to the Indian National Congress, and 18.11% went to the Aam Aadmi Party, which was a decline of approximately 18% for the Aam Aadmi Party. Do you think that there are fairer results in store for the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress Party since they have joined forces, or do you think that it's likely not going to impact what the turnout is going to be in terms of seats for the Bharatiya Janata Party because of Prime Minister Modi? And that's exactly what Dr. Abbas also alluded to.
We cannot compare 2019 with 2024 because 2024 is a bit different. If specifically speaking for Delhi or
How so?
Overall, yeah. How so is very important. Is because 2019 and 14, Aam Aadmi Party and other people in the alliance fought individually against the BJP. But this time they are not fighting individually. They are fighting them as a strong force together. Though they in the room they may not be together, but in the outlook, the vote is not going to be divided. So if there is a candidate of BJP, there is a candidate of Aam Aadmi Party only. And the opposition has given this kind of a momentum for the first time after Indira Gandhi's time of emergency, that the opposition is completely united to dethrone the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And here the dethroning factor is just the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, not the policy, not any such kind of an incident which has happened like of emergency, which Indira Gandhi had faced, wherein people joined together. Here the joining factor is, one could be ED, CBI and the kind of things happening against the opposition leaders. That's one, but this is not affecting the common people. So, but there is still a vote bank which is not in favor of Prime Minister Narendra Modi or BJP, which is in the favor of the opposition. So, when you consolidate the vote bank of Congress and Aam Aadmi Party, which is practically impossible in the paper book thing, but if you try to do it, the vote bank is much higher than of the BJP. So, now this is a new political study which may happen. So, after 2024, so after the opposition joining force against BJP, do they have that kind of a number to dethrone? Let's only talk about the 7 seats of Delhi. So that's going to be very interesting. Now there is another caveat here. The caveat here is that this election is also very special because there are 2 factors for Aam Aadmi Party specifically where the votes which will go, we don't know. One factor is that this present regime of BJP is trying to bring a notion in the minds of the people that they are making sure that the people of the opposition are to be behind the bars with ED, CBI, and everything. So the sympathy vote. Here is the term is the sympathy vote. The second factor is that Aam Aadmi Party is behind the bars because of corruption. And a party which is a crusader of corruption are on charges of corruption. So there is a vote bank which is saying, yeah, I believed in the party or the ideology, which is like a 10-year-old party, that they will be a crusader of corruption. And suddenly they are on the charges of corruption. So those kind of people have somehow been on back foot and not in favor of Aam Aadmi Party. So this vote share of Aam Aadmi Party, either it's going to add on the sympathy vote bank, or it's going to be divided or not getting voting for Aam Aadmi Party, or goes to the BJP end of it. So this is a new study point in the politics of the Indian regime, specifically for the Delhi region when I talk about it. So where this will go out, this will only come out when the results are out. But it is not 2019, it is not 2014. The central figure in the last three, including this election, would be the central figure is Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and everyone is orbiting around him. 2014, he was the star of the Indian politics who came in the foray after being the chief minister. And then 2019, it was all about Balakot and everything, the airstrike and everything.
Yeah, but Sumit, what is this election all about? What is this election all about? Let's also, in fact, revisit a bit of history, Sumit. If you look at 2004, inflation was at its peak. Prime Minister Vajpayee was, of course, in charge of the country. Though the economy, Sumit Peer, was growing at 8%, but inflation was also, somewhere hovering between 6 to 10% during those days. So people did not look at the economic growth. They looked at inflation as a factor to vote him out and bring a coalition government in. And of course, we all know what coalition governments have done to the markets, what they have done to the economy in the past. Nobody wants that. And I hope the voter also understands that having a coalition government is a fixed, a confirmed recipe for economic disaster as well. What are people voting for? In your opinion, Sumit Peer, is it the issues that have always persisted? Mengai, berozgari, and some of the other factors? Or do you think that this is something which has been changed by the Prime Minister? It's only his name, it's only his caliber, it's only his persona that people gravitate towards.
Vineet, well, it is not only the Prime Minister's name, persona, or the aura. It is the work which he has brought to the table, the development he has done. For the first time in Indian politics, I remember Prime Minister Modi quoting once, "Chalo, Netaji ne development ki to baat ki." Netaji means Sargi Mulayam Singh Yadav ji. People like Mulayam Singh Yadav ji, by the end of their life, have started talking about development. Today, everybody is talking development. We used to talk about caste, communal, divide, jati, roti, sabzi, dal, roti. That is all the elections were about. Now, today we have bigger aims. We are talking about GDP, we are talking about the economic growth, we are talking of how big our economy will be, when will be the third economic economy. We are talking of our foreign exchange, we are talking of international trade, we are talking of dominance. We are talking of the leadership of Global South. We are talking of keeping China and Pakistan under control. We are talking of Atmanirbharta. We are talking of a LC aircraft carrier. We are talking of a nuclear triad. We are talking of nuclear powered submarines. We are talking of more than 72 kinds of missiles and weapons which have been tested. We are talking of Atmanirbharta. We are talking of, and the world is saying that India is the hope of the world economy. So this vision of nationalism, wherein we are talking of the collective good and pride of India, not कि मेरे घर में आज बिजली आ रही है, मेरे मोहल्ले में सड़क खुद गई है, मेरी ड्रेन में पानी तो नहीं रुका, so I will not vote for you. No. When it comes to Prime Minister Modi, you're talking of the national good, because if we don't talk like that, you see what happened in Congress, Vineet. Let me remind you, sir. 2014, 1.8 trillion GDP, 4.1 trillion today. And most important thing, we were at fragile 5. Ab tak khatam ho gaya hote. Our banks had an accumulated loss of 80,000 crores. Now the same set of banks have a profit of more than 1 lakh crores. This happened. If your banks would have failed, you had billions of dollars which Manmohan Singh ji has signed as petro bonds. Who paid that money? It's Modi ji who has been paying thousands of crores every month to the oil companies. Otherwise, all oil companies would have bankrupt by now. Your banks were gone. Your oil companies were gone. You had problems with the defense. AK Antony ji told you, do not build any roads, because that is the only deterrence with China. Sadak banaoge to China yahan tak aa jayega. There were people who will tell you, do not fight China, because otherwise PLA will come to Delhi in 3 days. From that era, and let's not forget the typical MOU which Rahul Gandhi had signed with China. I don't know what he was doing there. When Doklam was happening, what were the secret meetings he was doing with the Chinese ambassador in the Chinese embassy? He never told us about his MOU. Now, with all those, era of where the country was heading almost to disaster, fragile five to top five and going to top three, people see this transformation. You look at the GST collected, you look at the economic growth, you look at the roads built, you look at the airports built, you look at the development we need. Let me remind you, sir. 54 crore log, 54 crore people you have given Ayushman Bharat insurance, that is more than the population of United States of America. And how many people have been treated under Ayushman Bharat? More than the population of United Kingdom. एलपीजी कंसंट्रेशन 48%, आज 98%। 5 करोड़ मकान बना दिए, एक मकान में 5 लोग रहते, 25 करोड़ लोगों के ऊपर छत है, करोड़ों आपने टॉयलेट बना दिए, स्कूल छोड़ दिए, 390 नई यूनिवर्सिटियां खोली आपने, you have opened hundreds of new medical colleges, engineering colleges, and your IIT, IIMs and AIMS, they have doubled. So overall, it is about the development of the country as such. I am not limiting my vote for a parliamentary election or a Lok Sabha चुनाव कि मेरे घर के बाहर नाली साफ हो रही है, मेरी स्ट्रीट लाइट चल रही. That is not the issue. Issue is the collective good of India, and people from across the walks of India, 140 billion, 1.4 billion people are talking about collective good of India. Who is the leader who can take India to the next level? Who is the leader who can make India the Vishwa Guru? Here in the India Alliance, you don't have a leader. We don't know even who is. Prime Minister Modi was telling them every year you will have a new prime minister. I am telling that every quarter you will have a new prime minister, because there are so many prime minister candidates in waiting. So when it comes to the track record of delivery, the track record of, where even the CIA and all have reported, Modi is incorruptible. And we have seen an era wherein we did not have a howitzer gun for 30 years. We have seen an era where it took 18 years for us to determine the FIR for registered against Bofors, was it legal or illegal? We have seen those eras. We have seen an era how the Warren Anderson was let out. We have seen the era how the IPKF was sent to, I'm quoting Natwar Singh ji, he said they were sent to Sri Lanka, and before they could land, most of them got killed. We have seen those disasters.
Right.
We have seen that era.
Let's also bring in Dr. Abbas.
विनीत जी, विदेशी साले एयरक्राफ्ट कैरियर पे पिकनिक मना रहे थे भारत के.
All right, you're right, absolutely. Dr. Abbas, in fact, 229 million people voted for the Bharatiya Janata Party in 2019. For the Indian National Congress, that number was about 110 million lesser. Now, that's a tall order to, in fact, aspire for. But the fact of the matter is, do you think that the opposition has perhaps also shot itself in the foot, because there seems to be a lot of desperation when it comes to forming alliances to take on the Bharatiya Janata Party? On one hand, there are constant, regular, sporadic insinuations about ye washing machine, that washing machine, and then you go back to the drawing board and tie up in Delhi with the Congress party, a party which is responsible for sending most of your prominent netas to jail. Is this what this election is all about? No scruples adhered to, only satta is the target.
Well, Vineet Sab, I'll certainly answer you. Yes, with respect to the opposition. I heard my good friend Sumit Peer, he mentioned that IITs, IIMs, AIMs have doubled. Sir, really? Can you quickly tell me, is it true or false, Sumit Sab?
Yeah, IITs, IIMs and AIMs all have more than doubled. 7 थे, 21 पे आंकड़ा आ गया है. All have they have doubled. मैं आपको बताऊं, यूपी में एक दिन में 54 मेडिकल कॉलेज खुले, अब्बास भाई, 54 मेडिकल.
नहीं, sir, Sumit bhai, have the IITs doubled? Yes or no?
Yes.
IITs have doubled.
AIMs and all have doubled.
So can you tell me the new IITs which have been there?
IIT Guwahati.
Well, maybe he's also referring to the fact that the foundation has been laid, Dr. Abbas. The foundation has been laid.
Okay. I think that is a better term to articulate, that the IITs, IIMs or AIMs, not doubled. There have been foundations which have lived or increased.
But airports have drastically increased, Dr. Abbas.
And who's taken over the airports largely? Isn't it Adani? As a matter of fact, if you read the litigation of GMR and Adani, how they are literally coerced and forced to give away their own respective airport, which is known. Adani now, the largest conglomerate which holds airports in India is Adani. Nevertheless, now coming straight back to the opposition front. Let us understand, undoubtedly, this blame of the opposition, I wouldn't say the blame of the opposition only, but from the citizen of this country is, as per elucidated by the Indian Express report, 25 leading members of the opposition jumped ship from their respective party to the BJP in the last 10 years of NDA government. And who are these 25 people? These 25 people have serious cases of CBI, ED, IT against them. And let me tell you, over the last 10 years of NDA rule, 95% of enforcement directorate cases have been against the opposition. compared to the time of UPA, which was only 25%. Now coming straight to the point. The fact is, Manasvi ji mentioned about Aam Aadmi Party and the opposition crusade and so on and so forth. I will add on to that. Now even Bharatiya Janata Party said that they are a party with a difference. Now does a party with a difference give 25% of 543 seats of the BJP and NDA alliance are given to outsiders? They are not even members of Bharatiya Janata Party. 25% of their parliamentary constituency candidates are outsiders who were brought into the party and then given a ticket to contest. Not just that. The fact is, this party which calls it na khaunga na khane dunga, Modi ji himself said NCP का मतलब naturally corrupt party. और वही NCP के पार्टी के जो लीडर है अजित पवार साहब को देवेंद्र फडणवीस जी ने कहा था कि उनको हम आएंगे सत्ता में और उनका जो स्कैम है हजारों करोड़ का जेल में डालेंगे. एंड हाउ कैन वी फॉरगेट अजित पवार चक्की पीसिंग एंड पीसिंग एंड पीसिंग. नाउ व्हाट डू वी सी? दिस भ्रष्ट नेता दूध सी सफेदी भाजपा ने लाई. भ्रष्ट नेता भी
Dr. Abbas, Dr. Abbas, this is a jingle I've heard from you before as well. Are you going to answer my question or not?
Yes, give me a second to answer.
Allow me to just complete my point, Sumit. Just completing my point. The fact is, Ajit Pawar today, not just Ajit Pawar, Janardhan Reddy comes from my state of Karnataka. 70,000 mining scam, 70,000 crore mining scam is now a part of BJP. Chaggan Bhujbal. क्या-क्या कहा भाजपा के प्रवक्ताओं ने? छगन भुजबल, अशोक चौहान, लिस्ट गोज ऑन, हिमंता बिस्वा शर्मा, सुवेंदु अधिकारी. ये कैसा है? आप करें तो प्यार, दूसरे करें तो वार. ये कैसा अत्याचार? The fact of the matter is, we need to understand there have been grave allegations. Why is it that only the opposition leaders are put behind bars by the CBI, DIT? Nothing. How is it that when you join the BJP, आप BJP को अपना मान लो और ये सब केस धुल जाएंगे और those cases are put in the cold burner? Nothing happens to them. They resist arrest. They become immune to it. Including
Okay, let Sumit respond now. We have a paucity of time. I also want a reaction from Manasvi after that.
Abbas bhai always comes with this jingle. I love the jingle though. First of all,
thank you. Sing it along with me.
It's his caller tune as well.
NCP leader, ये जो है हमारे छोटे पवार साहब, is it wrong that 1700 crores of his property is still attached and with ED as on date? Praful Patel, out of 8 male,
thank you, Praful Patel. Yes.
4 males of building are with ED. What did Modi ji recently said? 1,25,000 crore is the property which is attached with ED.
But why isn't he in jail, Sumit Saab? He should be in jail, no?
No. He should know. Let the legal trial happen. Let the legal trial happen. When he is given, why?
दोहरे मापदंड हो गए.
What about Sanjay Singh then? Why Sanjay Singh is out? Look, when the
let him make his point, Dr. Abbas. Let him respond.
Okay.
You can't be laughing in English. Look,
please go ahead.
Look, please go ahead. When the property is attached, that is what is the proceeds of crime. That is already with ED. Modi ji has quote unquote said 1,25,000 crore की property ED के पास है. I am thinking of legally how to distribute it back to the society, quote unquote, Prime Minister of India. So has anybody, जितने भी आपने नाम लिया, after they joined the BJP, have they got a clean sheet from ED? Does have clean sheet from
23 have got reprieve.
All right, okay, we've run out of time. I want Manasvi to come in quickly. All right, okay, enough. All right. There's been a lot of back and forth between Sumit and Dr. Abbas. Manasvi, 30 seconds to you. We wrap up then.
I think what Abbas said and what Sumit bhai said, they're both making point, but the reality is ED may not have given clean check, but ED have not even activated anything. They have not done anything also after that. So what happens here is the moot question comes here in when BJP, which is termed as a party with a difference, what is the matter to have Ajit Pawar or Himanta Biswa Sharma in there just for winning a state election? They may take those people who they say is corrupt. So today a corrupt person can become a corrupt. So what they are doing is they are legitimizing corruption. So you be corrupt, you have a good vote bank, you come to our political party, and then ED will not do anything, and then there would be political analysts and our spokesperson who would say that see, ED has not closed the case is still on, but ED is not doing anything. So this goes very wrong against the democracy of our country, and this goes very wrong. What is the future generation going to learn from us? They are going to learn from us is that the 2014 onward batch was like they were corrupt. But corruption is okay if they are in BJP, or in future they go to BJP, that's okay. So this particular moot problem is very wrong. So
All right,
either
okay.
you are against
All right, all
elections
right, all
or you
right.
are against
Completely out of
quick
time,
point,
guys. Gentlemen, completely out of time.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.